What is up, guys? This is Linthio coming at you with a brand new deck profile of my Herald of Ultimateness with the Star Zephyrs. Now, this is an absolutely incredibly fun deck to play, and it's actually really good in my opinion. I really like it. I think it's much better than the Spirit Engine, just because there's better consistencies and such. So without further ado, we'll go into it. Before I get started, I realise that I will probably say Zephyr, though it is Seraph. But it's just this weird thing that I keep doing. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure I'm having a stroke in some way, shape, or form. So, starting it off, we have the 3 Herald of Ultimateness. This is, just standard. We run the 3 because I want to get to it as quickly as possible. At worst case, it's a extra negate for itself as well. And so on and so forth. So, yeah, so we have the 3 Herald of Ultimateness. Then we have the 3 Manju. Manju is just standard. I don't run Sonic Bird or Senju still. With Preparation of Rites getting hit, obviously, it isn't run in this version of the deck, but in the normal Herald of Perfection deck, it kind of just got hit too much, and you have to fill up with Senjus or Sonic Birds to try kind of replace it. But the whole point of Preparation of Rites is that it was a 2-in-1. You got the Advanced Ritual Art back from the grave, whether you put it there with Larval Chain or if you put it in there with an actual ritual summon. It also meant that you could come back later in the game by bringing back, your Herald of Perfection with the ARA. But it's just dead now. It's horrible. I've been testing it and it's just so inconsistent. So for this one, we only have the Manjus because the Senju and the Sonic Bird just add inconsistencies. But you'll see another way that I actually search stuff out now. Then we have the 3 Megami. This is here just because it's your Advanced Ritual Art target. Don't really need to say much about this, to be honest. If you do clog with 2, it just also means the Star Zephyrs are actually really good at just being a standalone engine. 3 Gale Dogra, still running this engine. It's simply because it's go ham or go home for this deck, and with Gale Dogra, it is simply go ham. If you get this and Christia first turn, it just means that you end the field, your turn basically with this, a Christia and a Herald of Ultimateness with 4 cards on board, 4 cards in hand, which just means that, that's pretty decent. Your opponent's probably not going to be able to get over that, let's face it, unless they have 2 Dark Holes or Raigeki and then something else. And even if they've opened that, then that's pretty broke anyway, so it's just kind of the risks there. Obviously, you're probably going to draw it later on in the duel and it's going to be dead because you can only activate the effect twice. And that's just a risk you have to unfortunately take with this card and the version that I'm running. So going into the brand new ones, we have the brand new Scepter. And I just want to say these cards look absolutely incredible. They really do. I really love them, and the prismatic rares just look awesome. So Scepter is the new, basically, Stratos of the Zephyrs, or Scepters, or whatever you want to call them. Seraphs, that's the one I was looking for. You see, I told you. So basically when it's normal or special summons, you can add a Star Seraph from your deck to your hand. Then you can only use it as an XYZ summon for 3 or more monsters. And then when it's XYZ summons, when it's used an XYZ summon, you can target one other card on the field, destroy it, and then if you do, draw a card. So basically, the main one that you use it with is Deltaros, because you'll overlay into Deltaros. Deltaros, you can't respond to the summon, then you'll automatically get the pop and get a draw, which just means that you're going plus straight away. And then if you do manage to get Deltaros effect off, it's just broken. But if you use Sovereignty as well to summon it, it means that you plus 4, because you go Scepter, then you get a Sovereignty. You special summon the Sovereignty that you already got in your hand, then you special summon the other Sovereignty, draw 2. Yeah, you with me? Then Deltaros pops with this effect, and then Deltaros's effect to pop. So it's just so consistent. It's really, really good and really devastating. So I absolutely love him. He's so good. And then one of the other ones is Sovereignty. This is one that seems to be a little bit difficult to get in the actual box, because I've only seen people pull like maybe 1 or 2 out of 1. I got 2 out of 1 and I was just really lucky. You'll see the opening has already gone up on my channel for that, but it looks awesome as well. Sovereignty is just one of the best ones as well. Just the fact that you special and draw, it just replaces itself in the hand. And hand advantage is really important in Herald of Perfection and Herald of Ultimateness, and this is why I really like them, because they just constantly search out and constantly replace themselves in the hand. So it's really, really solid. Then here's one you probably won't have seen because they're the normal ones. We have 3 Scale. Scale is actually really important in this deck because you can do some cool combos with it. Its effect is when it's special summoned, you can special summon 1-star Seraph from your hand, then place 1 light monster from your graveyard to the top of the deck. Usual effect. And then once per turn, when this card has XYZ materials, if a monster is special summoned, immediately draw 1 card. So basically, again, this kind of replaces itself. You'll see some other cards that I'm running to kind of help with this as well. But it's just pretty good because it means you can stack the deck for those Honests or anything like that you want to keep. And it's just in general a really solid card. As you'll see, I am running other things to help get the effect off. But yeah, without further ado, I'll move on to the other ones. We then have 2 Scout. The reason I'm running 2 Scout and the reason I'm actually running 3 Scale as well is because the Sephiras or the Seraphs are the main engine in this deck. I should have said that earlier, but they are the main engine. How Spirits were in the main one in the other one, this one, Seraphs are the main engine. So yeah, we have Scout, and Scout's just basically when he's normal summoned, you can special summon 1 from your hand. It means that you can also use off Scale, you can use Scepter and everything like that. So if you've got Scout and Scepter and Sovereignty in your hand, it's pretty good. But nevertheless, it's just here because, you know, it's an extra Scepter name and things like that. So Scout's not too bad. The defense is pretty good. 1-8, you can't really complain. So yeah, so that's the engine on that front. Then we have 3 Christia. Christia is just an absolute boss as always. Just love this card so much. And it pisses so many people off. As I said, you open this and Gale Dogra in your opening hand and you're going first, you're basically going to lock them out. And if you're going against someone like, you know, Nakloths, it's going to be very, very impossibly difficult for them to get over you, especially with negates on board. So Christie is really good. Excuse me, you'll see the other cards that I'm running to maybe help get this out as well, but without further ado, we'll move on. We have 2 Honest. Honest is just honest. You know, we run lights and kind of don't really need to say much about it, to be honest. Being able to get it back with Christie is always a trolley thing. Then we have the 1 Matation. Mataion's a really solid card in my opinion, and really good. Helps me in the Satel Knight matchup because it just means that I can summon it and bounce everything back. You know, if they've got like a Dante? Well, Dante also for the Burning Abyss matchup, but if they've got like a Deltos or Triver, I can just be like, no, go away, you don't get any of your effects. So, Mataion's really solid and I do like it. A funny story, someone actually, when I summoned it and activated the effect, someone actually Nova'd me and I was just like, okay, this stays on the field because it can't be destroyed. So yeah, continuous effect, my friends. Then my tech, we have Sky Scourger Invincible, and not only does it look awesome, to be honest, but its effect is actually pretty important. So this one's a tech, as I said, and its effect is, it's a fairy, level 6 Earth, and it can't be special summoned. If it's tribute summoned by tributing one of the following monsters, you can activate its appropriate effect, and the only one we're interested in is a light fairy monster. Negates the effects of all spell cards. So, obviously, this affects both players, and that isn't the important thing, though, because I only run a certain amount of spells, which you'll see in a second, and it's just really, really good. The fact that you've got the Star Seraphs that replace themselves, that they can special summon, it's actually really easy to get this out if I need it, and this, and, you know, Herald of Perfection, or Herald of Ultimateness, sorry, is pretty good. So, yeah, he's actually working out really well for me. Going on to the spells, we have the 3 Upstart Goblin. Upstart Goblin is here just for the consistency issues as usual. You just want to draw as much as possible, so yeah, don't really need to say much about that. 2 Advanced Ritual Art, obviously we're running this. You run the maximum that you can. I still don't understand why this is at 2. I will always never understand why it is at 2. And I guarantee you, just watch this space. The day this goes to 3 is the day Manju gets hit. Guarantee it. I just know my luck. 1 Raigeki, this is here just to clear the board, you know, it's just Raigeki's a good card. 1 Dave Piece, really solid card. I use it a lot with Upstart Goblin just because those 4 cards are my draw cards, and it just stops him from getting any damage. You know, if I use Gale Dogger in the turn, then activate Activate 1-day piece, it just means that in my opponent's turn, they can't run over me and try and kill me. It also means that I can, you know, save my negates depending on what they've got. If they're trying to go for a big monster that's potentially going to try and punch over Gale Dogra for game, it means that I can hold back a little bit and just allow them to do that, because next turn I can just switch it to defense, or if they want to kill it, that's fine. So, this is one of my new techs in the deck. So we have Oasis the Dragon Souls. So, the reason why Oasis is in here is because I want to get off as many sovereignty effects, not sovereignty, so I want to get off as many scepter effects as possible, just for consistency. I can't bring back Herald of Ultimateness, even if it's been correctly special summoned, because of its effect that says must be ritual summoned and cannot be special summoned by any other ways. But let's just go through the deck and see what we can bring back. You can bring back a Megami if you really want. So Scepter can be brought back and its effect can be activated. Sovereignty can't get its draw because it says if you normally special summon a Star Seraph monsters except during damage step, you can special summon this card. But technically, if it's in your hand, you know you can do it. But I'm just meaning that you can't summon itself. Scale is actually another one you can also bring back. And then you can, you know, special summon one from hand and, you know, then put a light on top of the deck. And here's a big one. Outlaw Christie is another big one that you can bring back. And also Honest's that you just want to, you know, start recycling. So overall, Oasis is a solid card. The reason why I don't run Call the Haunted is simply because of Gale Dogra. And I'll be down on like 2,000 life points. So I don't really want to bring back anything in attack mode. Even if it's like Christie, I want to bring it in defense just in case, but more than less I'm going to actually be activating it in the end phase anyway, just so we can get the effects off successfully. So without further ado, let's go into the extra deck. We have the one Ouroboros. Ouroboros is a great card, especially with the Star Seraphs now, so really solid choice, and everyone should be running it if you're running the Seraphs. The one Deltaros, you know, you don't really need to say much about this. You can run more if you so wish, but I'm only running the one just due to space issues. One Vylon de Sigma. Running this to test it out. On paper, it seems good. Being able to take your opponent's monster and then caster or cataster effect for the same attribute is pretty good. One Masquerade. Again, battle effects are still a thing, so we like to go into this, and 2/7 attack is pretty good. Sentry. This is an awesome one to go into if you really do need it. It's not the greatest first turn play because I wouldn't explode with my Seraphs on first turn if there's nothing on board. But it's still a pretty good card. Then the generics. We have the one Exeter Knight, the one Emerald, the one Lavarval Chain, because Lavarval Chain is always used. Emerald as well to recycle stuff back in. The one Omega, just to bait out any back row, because that's always a good thing. The one Starliege Paladinamo, because, you know, it's just in general a good card. The one Castell, again, a very solid card this format, so, you know, don't really need to say much about it. Knight's a good one because he's actually a really important one, the most important in the extra deck, just to block the breakthrough skills that your opponent tries to activate in Grave. It means that you can shift it onto this card, so that's really important. The one Abyss Dweller because Shadows and Burning Abyss are things. And then finally the two Gale Dogra targets. We have a 1, 2 Herald of Arclight. This is just here because, you know, you want to send it to the grave of Gale Dogra to get the effects off. So that is it, guys. I hope you did enjoy the deck profile. I realise this is a longer one, going on about 14 minutes. So I hope you did enjoy it. Really enjoying the deck. I really do love it because they're just so fun to play, you know. And they are really good in general. So this is a lot of fun, a lot of testing, and I'm hopefully going to be bringing this to many, many events. So as I said, let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the deck. Like, comment, subscribe, and I shall catch you guys later.